Hey, what's up YouTube? Today we're going to be doing a little how-to video on how to replace the dryer felt seal on a Frigidaire heavy-duty dryer. I don't normally do videos like this, but since I'm going to be doing it anyway, I figured I'd do a video for you, and we're going to keep it really quick and easy. So first things first, make sure that your dryer is unplugged, which it is. And next step is to take the front off the dryer. Okay, so you take the front off the dryer by sticking a screwdriver in and popping these little clips up, which you'll find right here. And it worked before, but now it isn't working. So you pop the screwdriver in here and here, over here. There's one, and all right, there's the other. Okay, see? Okay, after you get the top open, there are going to be two little screws. Let's zoom in. There's going to be one right there, which I've started to take out, and there's another one right about there. Yeah, focus on the screw. Okay, good. And you're going to want to take these little clips off this little micro switch here. You're going to take the clips off the micro switch here, and then we'll come back after we have the face off. Okay, so now we have the front off of the dryer, and here is our upper felt seal right here, which we're going to replace. And the lower felt seal actually looks good, but we're going to replace that too anyway, just since why not do both, right? So we're going to take this upper part off, peel it off, then we're going to sand the adhesive off. There we go. Sand the adhesive off, and we're going to go ahead and peel all this off because it looks like this was replaced, but again, we're just going to replace all of it. All right, I'll come back after we sand this. Okie dokie. So I skipped showing you the video of me sanding it because you don't really need to see that, and it doesn't really look like I sanded it, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. I took a putty knife and scraped as much of this off as I could, and then used some, medium to light grit sandpaper and sanded it down as best as I could, just so there's no big knobs sticking up. No, you don't want any of the old glue protruding too much. I might be able to sand that a little bit more, but you know what, I think that's good enough. So then you're going to want to apply the adhesive first and give it a little time to get tacky. So we're going to apply the adhesive, and you want to try to not use too much of it because they give you this Electrolux high temp glue, and we're just gonna go like this, and I probably will use too much, but we can always clean up the excess, which is not a big deal. Alright, so we're going to apply this glue and then let it set for about a minute, because then our upper felt seal will want to stick. Otherwise it's just going to want to peel up and slide around. So we're going to put this glue on, let it sit for a minute or two, and then I'll be back. Okay, so we let the adhesive sit for about a minute or two, and now we're going to put the upper felt seal on. You want the plastic to protrude back towards the face, all right? And you want to center the middle one right at the top, right there. Okay, and once the upper felt is installed, it should look something like this. You want it to be very close to the lip. Let's focus in on that. You want it to be as tight up against the lip as possible, because that will keep your clothes from getting sucked in and damaged, as this thing was doing before. Okay, so we're going to let that sit for just a little while until that's in place. And then we're going to go ahead and do the lower seal next. And I'll be right back. Okie dokie, so we've got this thing flipped around now to do the bottom side. And it works pretty much just like what we did on the top side. That's pretty good. It's good enough for a used dryer. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our high temp adhesive and we're going to apply it fairly liberally around the outside. Again, you don't really have to use that much, but I'm going to err. I suppose I will err on the side of using a little more than necessary, just so we don't have to worry about this thing peeling off later. But let me tell you, even if you use just a moderate amount of this adhesive, it will seriously stick. You don't have to use nearly as much as I am. Okay, and I didn't include this earlier in the video when I was sanding, but there were some parts that were a little... they weren't cooperating, we'll just say. There was parts where the felt and the glue were sticking. And I didn't show this because I don't want to get blamed if somebody does this and hurts themselves, but I took a blowtorch. Not a blowtorch, I took a... let me zoom out a little. I took a butane torch to some of the felt and the glue to burn it off. Of course, you want to do that in a well-ventilated area. You know, don't try this at home. I'm a professional. But yeah, the butane torch helped to burn off some of the crud and some of the felt that was not cooperating. I'm doing this all with one hand. Oh, look, there's some felt there. Oh well, too late. But as we will show here momentarily, none of this really matters that much. This is still gonna work perfectly. Okay, before this sets up on me, alright, that is way too much, but that's okay. Okay, and now we can place our felt, which is kind of hard to do one-handed, so I'm going to cut away for a minute, and then we'll show you what it looks like after I place the felt. Alright, now as you can see, I have a little bit of excess here, and that's no problem. We're just going to take a razor knife and cut that right off, which again is going to be hard to do one-handed, so I'll be right back. Okay, and when you're done, it should look something like that. Now you'll want to notice here, let's focus a little bit, that I've got this as close to the edge, to the lip here. You want to keep that nice and tight. I probably could have done a little bit better than there. But you want this to be very tight up against the edge, all the way around. And as you can see, well, maybe you can't see if it doesn't focus, but this is already stuck on there pretty good, and it's only been a few minutes. So we're going to let it sit for, you know, maybe a half an hour or an hour, and then we'll put the dryer back together. Whoa, that's weird. Look at that. What is it trying to focus on? Oh, here's one more thought before I put this thing back together. You might as well take this time while you have everything pulled apart to clean out the lint trap and this tubing here, this port that goes to the dryer motor itself, because this is a used dryer. Let me just first say, this is a used dryer here. I acquired it used, and all this stuff. Yeah, see that? Ew. Dryer sheets and this block of fuzz. I don't know if that's supposed to be in there or if that's just a huge lump of dryer lint. But that was all in here. So go ahead and pull all that out, and I'm gonna blow this out with a leaf blower before we put it back. Okay, we'll see you in a minute. Okay, and now before we put this all back together, now that it's been blown out, there's still some crud down there. I'll take a paper towel to that in a minute. But now that it's all been blown out and put back together, this is what it looks like, all brand new. Look at that. Wait, where's my light? Oh, I can't use it with the ultra wide? Whatever. Look at that. Beautiful fit, nice and tight, all the way around. There's a little bit of glue I got there, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. All right. We're gonna wipe out that bottom port there, and then we're gonna put this back together. All right, here we are. And now it's gonna go back together the same way that it came apart. Almost lost my screw with the leaf blower there. All right, and now it's gonna go back together the same way it came apart. So there's gonna be these two little feet down here. Let's see if I can zoom in on them. They're not really feet, but there's these little clips. See there? And what is that? I don't know what that is, but there's another clip right there. All right, and you're gonna want to fit it into there and there. Ta-da! So we're gonna do that. Can we get a close-up on that? Yep, one there, and one is gonna go, oh, there we go. Popped right into place. And then we're gonna lean it up like this and snap it back together. Okay, and I think this goes without saying, but I just want to point it out since I'm trying to be fairly complete in this video, that you want these plastic pieces to go underneath the drum so it snaps together like that. And these guide the drum nice and smoothly, and they also keep it from eating your clothes. So after these are snapped back in place, all you have to do is put the screws back in here and here, and put those clips back on the micro switch, like that. And we'll put the lid back down, and we're good to go. I inhaled way too much dust. Okay, and now that we've done all of that, let's just take a look really quick. As you can see, those guides are underneath the drum, which will keep it in place. Part of the problem is that the old guide, hang on. The old guide, as you can see, had those, or the old, well, the plastic guides on the felt all got ripped off at some point. And that is really the main reason why it was eating clothes. So as you can see, we've got the screw back in place there. We got the screw back in place there. We've got the clips back on the micro switch. And just for good measure, I wiped down the drum. And all that's left to do put the lid back down and plug it in and see if it works. Of course it's going to work. All right, we're all plugged back in. Let's see what happens. Oh, I'm stupid. Nice. There we have it, folks. And that, I didn't put the lint filter back in. There we go. And that is how you replace the upper and lower drum felt on a Frigidaire heavy-duty dryer, or pretty much any other dryer. It works about the same, but specifically, this is how you do it on the Frigidaire heavy-duty. What does it say? Focus. Model FDE 436 Res 2. Oh, I also have to wipe down the inside of the drum. That ain't no big. I have to go clean up now because I'm covered in dust and high temp glue. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.